Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie, we're gonna look at the latest roadmap updates for Flight Simulator. July was a pretty busy month, right? With city update number 9, Northeastern US, local legend number 17, the Curtis C-46, as well as the world update number 17, UK and Ireland, and the local legend number 18, the Westland Scout Wasp. So that was pretty busy. Say August, they don't go full steam ahead, but August is still pretty interesting. As you can see, in the week of the 19th of August, World Update number 18 will be released. Now the question of course will be, okay, hey, on which part are they gonna focus? Well, likely that will be announced pretty soon. It could be South America, it could be South Africa, it could be other parts of the world. So that's pretty interesting, as well as the local legend number 19, which will also be announced on a later stage. So both of them, we don't have any news on that currently, but I do expect it will be announced, let's say, in the coming weeks. Then September, we're gonna continue, maybe with the full steam ahead, because you can see that they squeezed in sim update number 16, as well as famous flyer number 10, the Boeing 707-320 Charlie, but both of them are tentative, which means, okay, it could be part of the roadmap, but it could also be that they're gonna drop it, or delay it, and it likely has to do with the development which is going on for Flight Simulator 2024, which will be released in November. Then the week of the 16th, there will be a city update number 10, also still to be announced, where they gonna apply those updates. We've got, say, 2 or 3 now in Europe, right? We've got a few in the US, so maybe they're gonna shift to a different continent, but let's see what happens there. And then after that, there's no large updates announced. And that might make sense because they're likely going to focus 100% on Flight Simulator 2024 release in November. You can see that there's a famous flyer, which is on the list, famous flyer number 11. That one is the next one after the Boeing, but this one also is to be announced when it will be, available, right? That's something we don't know yet. So with that, let's shift the focus to the box lifetime. So this is focused on the number of votes, right? You can see the ones which are highly upvoted, they will get a lot of attention because you can see several of them are ongoing or improved already, or some of them are even partially fixed already. That's mainly done as part of sim updates, right? Sim updates are updating that code, but also some fixes will be delivered using the world updates. And that's mainly with the scenery, which is not, say, 100% correct. If they spot that, you will likely see world updates fixing those issues. And that's also what you see for the item for the coastline, as well as the mountains and the coastlines constantly morphing. That's being fixed as part of the world updates. Now, the other thing which is interesting is that there's still a lot of items which they delayed until Flight Simulator 2024, which is the free look with the mouse, also the unrealistic airport lighting, as well as the shimmering AA downgrade after sim update number 5, and the roads and streets are green and low resolution. Likely it has to do with all the backend changes which they're gonna make. Maybe you've seen one of those videos which contained interviews with Asobo and Microsoft, and they made, I would say, some statements that they're gonna massively increase the number of services which are used for Flight Simulator 2024, which is really interesting, but also might be a little bit worrying because there will be more dependencies on the backend. And as we know, there were some backend issues in the past, especially when they released some updates, right? Then those issues start to happen. So hopefully that will be a robust environment, so you won't be affected when you're playing Flight Simulator. Now, 3 or 4 items on this list are still under investigation. One of them is the engine shutdown brakes immersion in the VR and non-VR mode. The landing and or taxi lights on airplanes don't put it far enough, as well as the LOD problems, this is revisited, and the phantom battery current and the weird electrical system behavior. Those are still under investigation, so that means that they would require more logging, more, I would say, repros of the issue before they can really, let's say, fix this. Now on this list, there are also items which will not be fixed. The mirroring textures for both the Boeing 787-8 and the 787-10. maybe it should be 747, one of them. I'm not sure. Reflections looks grainy, even if reflections are on ultra. Well, I'm not playing on ultra, so I don't experience the issue. And Microsoft Flight Simulator, breaking the VR golden rule, don't move the camera, the user is. So those items are not being planned to be fixed. So maybe they will be part of uh, Flight Simulator 2024 somewhere in the future. Now, if we move down the list, we can go to the last 6 months. And you can see that a lot of those items are still under investigation. Some of them are fixed. Actually, 3 of them are fixed. And it has to do with the Wind update, or World update number 16. There were the fixes in, as well as a Sim update number 15. The rest of them are mainly, I would say, aircrafts, especially the ATR aircraft. That one received an update recently, which will likely fix some of the issues, but not sure of if all of them are reflected here correctly. Because the ATR LNAV tracking, I think it works correctly now, but I'm not 100% sure about that. As well as some other things. So that, I would say, is still pretty interesting. As well as the A320 V2, the Cessna CG4. Those are other aircrafts which, say, would require some fixes. But most of them are still under investigation. So if you experience issues, then make sure that you're reporting them, because that will help them, say, resolving the issue. Then we've got a wish list, and a wish list is also pretty long. You can see that a lot of those items have been moved to planned MSFS 2024, like the replay functionality, the enhanced API to access all aircraft states, the shared cockpit for multiplayer, classic flyby views back, world update number X, Brazil. So with that in mind, right, remember that we discussed world updates earlier in this video. It could be that Brazil is one of them, which they already knew, hey, it will be released, and that's the one which they are going to announce to be released somewhere in August. Then we've got the aircraft specific control profiles, right, which means that you can control the profiles for your controllers, like your mouse, keyboard, or your joystick, or maybe your gamepad, and then make them per aircraft. And in one of the latest development updates, they showed how it will look like. And there you already saw, okay, hey, they're gonna move to aircraft specific control profiles as it looks like, which is really cool because it makes it easier. Then you don't have to switch each time to the correct control, because they already know which controller you want to have. Then we've got the city and airports update in South Korea, also for Flight Simulator 2024. Force feedback support, exit the flight planner without leaving the flight, and seasons already planned for Sim update or Flight Simulator 2024. No Sim update, unfortunately. The things which are not there and not planned is the trains. So adding trains, but likely a third-party developer will jump into that, as well as the multiplayer display other players' actual models and liveries around you. It says here not planned, but I know that they want to make it more realistic, so maybe they squeeze it in, or they're working on it. There are a lot of things which they are improving around that that part, right? Because there were some issues with it in the past. So let's see if there are more items being, let's say, changed to planned for Flight Simulator 2024. Now you can see that the scenery gateway system, the World Hub, the alpha is released, but currently the alpha has stopped and will be returning in 2025. So they're not gonna, I would say, continue development for now. So either they found something or they changed their minds, which made them decide to, let's say, retire this tool. The real world taxiways and signage started the World Hub. That one was started, but likely that one is also paused because there's, I would say, dependency on that. Then we've got the rest of the list, and this one is, I would say, mainly containing under investigation. A few of those items are planned for Flight Simulator 2024, like the power line antennas, mast, cables, cars, and gondolas, as well as the Northern Light, right? The Aurora Borealis or Australis, open doors, realistic propeller effect. And the last one, we already saw a video about that, where they showed some examples of how it will look like. So that's pretty cool. The rest of them is all under investigation. but I would say wouldn't be surprised if there will be some new items added or moved to Flight Simulator 2024. Then the wish list from the last 6 months, that also contains a lot of items, but all of them are under investigation, like add a free flight to the Araki scenery and Dune expansion, persistent boost trips, the Dassault Falcon 6X, which is a specific aircraft, world updates, please use numbers, not Roman numerals. Yeah, that's the decision which they made. As well as the World Hub, please allow us to place objects, which is part of the World Hub, which is currently being paused, as mentioned. And also add wide flight plan view in the G1000. So G1000, the system which is used by a lot of aircrafts in Flight Simulator 2020. And with that, we're at the end of this video where we looked at the roadmap, but also at the bug list, as well as the wish list from, I would say, a short period and a longer period, the last 6 months. Pretty interesting stuff. I do expect a lot of fun the coming months, coming weeks, where they will announce, first of all, the next world update, as well as the next local legend, as well as the next city update. And those are all planned to be released in August. September, it's currently a little bit of, I would say, foggy, right? Because we don't know if Sim Update number 16 will come alive, as well as the Boeing aircraft, which they announced also. So let's see how that goes. Here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.